Top Chef Season 19 is going to Houston. It's premiering on March 3rd. We're going to see a familiar face here in the Chicagoland area. Damarr Brown from Virtue Restaurant here in the Chicagoland area is making it onto the season. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now let's talk a little bit about getting that phone call. What was it like anticipating, getting that call and, this whole experience so far?
It was super exciting. I didn't think I wanted to do any competition TV, but after you go through the process, you really want to do it. So I really wanted it. And I remember I was working Hot Apps at the time and I saw my phone ring and I was like, is this that call? And I ran off the line. They told me I was going to be on. So I was super excited.
That is amazing. Now, the season is set in Houston. Had you been to Houston before? Any connection to Texas at all?
No, I've never been to Houston. I've been to a certain part of Texas, but I was a kid. I don't remember it. I had no clue about Houston.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the skills, because obviously, the show has been on to, this is going to be the 19th season. So, there's those quick fire challenges, there's different proteins, there's, different styles of cuisine, different challenges. Was there anything that you kind of crammed for or studied for that you were like, if I'm going to be on the show, this is something that I need to work on?
I was definitely working on my prep skills, dicing onions as quick as I can, breaking down lobsters, opening oysters. I really didn't want to embarrass myself in a mise en place challenge. So it was a lot of timed exercises running around the kitchen.
Let's talk. Obviously, season number 4 here, set in Chicagoland. Lots of famous Chicagoans, on there. Stephanie Eisert, obviously the winner of that season. She, from the teaser, we can see that she's making an appearance on this upcoming season. Tell us a little bit about maybe some of the connections you have with, we have Stephanie Eisert, we have Fabio Viviani, we have Joe Flam, we have Sarah Gruenberg. There's so many. If you're a fan of Top Chef and you come to Chicago, there's so many different restaurants and opportunities that you get to be, part of that experience.
I love all the past Top Chef contestants from Chicago. I've been to all their restaurants. Some of them have been to Virtue. Pretty friendly with Joe Flam. He's an amazing guy. Beverly Kim has been in the restaurant. She's so sweet and kind, as well as Sarah Grunberg. I love all of them, and it's a lot to live up to.
As far as the judges, so when you were on the show and you were kind of prepping for that very first episode, and you said you were from Chicago, did anyone have any did Gail say anything, or or Tom, as far as like, oh my goodness, I love filming in Chicago, or anything special they said about our city?
No, they just mentioned that there's a lot of talented chefs in Chicago, and of course Chicago's a big food city. So they reiterated that I had a lot to live up to.
Well, we're excited to see you on the show, but fans here can go ahead and check you out at Virtue Restaurant. It's in the Hyde Park neighborhood. Tell us a little bit about the cuisine.
So at Virtue Restaurant, we do Southern American food. Hyde Park is a beautiful neighborhood and it's really diverse. Of course, you have the University of Chicago right there. We're right on the corner of 53rd and Harper, so you can't miss us. And the space is amazing. We have all this beautiful Black art from artists like Dawood Bey, Theaster Gates. It's a beautiful vibe to be in. It's a really cool room.
Now, Eric Williams, you've worked with him. You worked for 7 years at MK. You've also worked for the Alinea Group, and then you end up coming back to work with Eric. Tell us a little bit about your friendship and how you guys work together as a team.
Chef has been the biggest friend and mentor to me over the last 12 years. Knocked on the back door at MK and asked for a job. I really wanted to work for a chef that looked like me, and he was the most prominent one in Chicago at the time. Probably still is. They offered me a position, and I literally grew up in that restaurant. I started there at 19 and left around 26. MK was going to close soon after being open for 20 years. And I moved on to go to Royster, and I kept asking him, I was like, hey, you're going to open a restaurant or what? And he's like, I'm doing catering. I don't necessarily need to do that, right? Like, I'm making just as much money. And eventually I got the call, and he's like, all right, we're going to do this. And the timing has really worked out. So I was really happy to be back, with the restaurant family. The pastry chef worked at MK. The GM worked at MK. Like, we all have been around each other for a really long time.
So you're involved with a clothing line. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's called Say It How You Feel It. It's with my partner, Lisa Bonjora, who was the old pastry chef at MK. And it was during the shutdown in the height of the pandemic when food wasn't the biggest creative outlet for us. It was weird as restaurant people, we work a lot. And when there wasn't that much work to do, the first thing we wanted to do was find more work. So we bought t-shirt presses and we started making t-shirts and hoodies out of her apartment. It was just a way to, continue to express ourselves creatively.
That is amazing. March 3rd, the premiere of Top Chef season 19. Where are you going to be? And are you going to have a watch party, or tell us how you're going to celebrate?
March 3rd is a Thursday. So I will be working service, and me and the team will figure out how to watch it after. But everybody's super excited. So I'm sure we'll, crowd at the bar at Virtue Restaurant, and, we'll watch.
You'll watch. Final thing I want to go ahead and ask you. You said that when you were working with Eric and you went to go apply for a job at MK, that you wanted to work with a chef that looked like you. And how are you hoping that, your appearance on this show and being part of the Top Chef family is going to inspire the next generation of chefs?
I've been saying this for a lot of years. I think it's hard to see yourself doing something when you don't see anyone that looks like you doing it. And at Virtue, we're, 80, 90% staffed by Black and brown people. And I just want to inspire people to kind of change how some of these restaurants look. Higher end restaurants lots of times don't look like a lot of meat. So we're working on that at Virtue. And if I could change, if I can start at Virtue and just kind of keep creating that message, then we can spread this thing. I just want to let people know that they're just as good. They deserve to be in a lot of these rooms, and they can do it if that's what they want to do.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for your time today, Damarr. 1462 East 53rd Street in Hyde Park is where you can go ahead and check out Virtue. Also, Top Chef going to Houston for season 19. March 3rd is that premiere. And best of luck, and can't wait to watch the show.
Thank you so much.